Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. The NFL Draft, it's officially over. Our Atlanta Falcons had what I think was a very good NFL Draft. They got their wide receiver, they got a lot of trench players, they got their quarterback. We're going to go through all of the players, all of the picks, give you my thoughts, my breakdowns, and also finish with my overall grade for this class. A, B, C, D, or F. Where is it at? Stay tuned and find out. Let's go through the selections. Lots of them to get to. You've seen videos on some of these guys. The later on draft picks, not yet. Drake London, your first round draft pick, number 8 overall. The big physical wide receiver, 6'5". A lot of Mike Evans in this young kid. Very excited to see what he can do. And then you have Arnold Ebeketie, who, a little underrated of a pass rusher. Not a lot of pre-draft hype. Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, not a lot of talk from them about him. But a sack producer, rushing the passer. Love that pick, trading up to 38. Troy Anderson, the very good tackling, very physical, big linebacker from Montana State. And then there he is, Desmond Ridder, the quarterback from Cincinnati. I actually spoke to his coach earlier this morning. I spoke to Luke Fickell on the, I talked to him actually on the phone, and Fickell assured me that they are getting an incredible player. I mean, Desmond Ridder is going to be fantastic for the Atlanta Falcons. Love that. Later round, D'Angelo Malone, another pass rusher. I'd like to see some double dipping there. Tyler Allgeier, the running back from Memphis, 21 touchdowns, led college football in rushing touchdowns. They needed a running back. Not the best one in the draft, but a really good one who might get some depth there. Justin Shaffer, how about drafting back-to-back UGA players? They don't draft Georgia players. They did now. Justin Shaffer, the guard, instant competition at left guard. And John Fitzpatrick, the blocking tight end from UGA. There you go. There are your selections. And we can just get started with a question for you. Grade this draft class. What do you think? I think it's a lot better than last year. I'll tell you that. My draft grade's going to be pretty darn high. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F? Give me your grade down below in the comments section right now. All right, we start with Drake London. Talked about him a lot on the channel the past couple of days. You know, if you just took his pick into perspective, it was like, you know, you have other needs. Let's focus on defense. But when you have the rest of the draft class in front of you, the London pick looks really good. I think this is an A-plus pick. I think that this is going to be a player who makes an instant impact, who is a definite need at the position, and can be an elite receiver in the National Football League. At least that's what we drafted him to do. He was picked to be an elite receiver on the outside, and with the current list of players they currently have, Olamide Zaccheaus being your number 2 guy, you almost could have wished they could have gotten another wide receiver at some point in this draft, but London will be the surefire number 1. Him, Pitts, Cordell Patterson, not a bad trio. I mean, there are worse offensive trios out there in the NFL. I think Atlanta's going to be a lot more exciting, especially with Mariota at quarterback to start, than people realize. London, again, tons of yards, lots of touchdowns. Even with the ankle injury, still produced at USC last year. I'm pumped to see what he can do, and I think the Falcons got a really good one, and he was the first receiver taken, so he'll be compared against the rest of them. Hopefully he stands up the test of time. Arnold Ebeketie is the second-round draft pick who, again, not a lot of talk about him pre-draft. Not in a lot of mock drafts. Not a can't-miss guy. I'll talk about Jermaine Johnson and being the guy there. Really good pass rusher. Penn State, Big Ten offensive lineman going against them. He whipped him up. 9.5 sacks during his final season at Penn State. They wanted him really badly. Let me just make that clear. They wanted this guy. The trade up from 41 to 38 was clear. They thought Seattle was going to go ahead and take him there at 39. And so getting ahead was huge. Again, fantastic player at a position of need. Now, is he going to turn out to be a double-digit sack guy? Who knows? Honestly, no idea. You don't know anything about these draft picks in reality. Like, will they actually be good or not? We don't know. But the fact they emphasize a high draft pick on a legit pass rusher to me is great news for all Falcon fans. I'm very excited to see what he is able to do going into his rookie season. Any sort of help for Grady Jarrett to get to those double teams away from him, oh man, that would be an A-plus thing for me. Big fan of Ebeketie. All right, Troy Anderson was a head-scratcher due to the Nakobe Dean not being picked there, but Nakobe Dean fell, maybe for medical, maybe for not. Time will tell if that was the right pick, but Anderson was a highly touted linebacker. Had you actually watched Montana State play, which I know that you did not, I didn't have to go watch the film, you'd realize that he's the NFL size. He's the size of an NFL linebacker. Big guy. He can run really well, too. One of the faster linebackers in this draft. I think this could be somewhat of a steal. I think he's going to compete for starting time. I think he'll play alongside Deion Jones in some base looks, and I think that you have a really good player right here who, once Deion Jones does finish up his career in Atlanta, probably sooner rather than later, will be a solid starter. Again, another defensive piece on the chessboard for Dean Pease to hopefully make a lot of good moves. This was a Dean Pease-focused draft, and I think that was the right call for the Atlanta Falcons. So far, who's your favorite Falcons draft pick? Like, overall, do you have a favorite Falcons draft pick? Let me know who that is down below in the comment section. Mine's the guy we're going to talk about next, honestly. We'll talk about Ridder in a second, but who's your favorite Falcons draft pick? Let me know down below. And, of course, be sure to subscribe to our Falcons channel because even though the draft is over, undrafted free agents are coming up here. They can still sign some normal free agents. Obviously, all the drama leading into OTAs and training camp and mini camps, we'll cover it here on the channel. If you guys like the Atlanta Falcons, if you love them, go down below and hit that red button. We would greatly appreciate it. All right. Best pick of the entire draft, Desmond Ridder. Thank goodness he fell. I mean, the fact you didn't reach for Desmond Ridder is a win in and of itself. Had you taken him in round 2, you would have been like, a little pressure there. Round 3, didn't trade up, no pressure. It's like, Desmond, come on in. Take your sweet time. You can sit the entire year. I don't care. But I love the upside of this guy. He's a gamer. He's a winner at Cincinnati. Put on the Notre Dame tape. 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was great in that Notre Dame win on the road at South Bend. I think he has real starting potential here for the Atlanta Falcons. Not week 1. I don't think he's ready. No need to rush. I mean, I think Mariota can do the job. But the fact you didn't have to go up to get him is the real win here. Now, you didn't take Willis, you didn't take Corral, and so you got your pick of the lot. So clearly this is who Arthur Smith wanted out of those quarterbacks that all free fell out of the first round and deep late into the third round. So I'm pumped, man. Ridder was a guy I was circling. I was a fan of him and Corral were kind of my 2 favorites, more so than Malik Willis. Big-time competition. Don't worry about the Bama game. He was outgunned completely on offensive defense. Put him on an equal team, equal roster, and he could have been there with a chance to beat Alabama, in my opinion. That's how I go on that game. Yes, did the Falcons got their quarterback of the future? I think they did. Type 1 down below for yes. I think they did not. Crazy. Type 0 down below for no. I think they did, though. I think we're all very confident that Ridder is the quarterback of the future. All right, we keep going. D'Angelo Malone, another outside linebacker, pass rusher, let's just call it what it is. Again, smaller school, not necessarily someone that you watched a lot on any given Saturday, but again, productive. He's fast, he's physical, can bend well on the outside, and it's another body for Dean Peeves to hopefully mold into a pass rusher. Right now, it's very clear Atlanta is going to throw a bunch of darts at a pass rush dartboard and hope that one of them sticks. And that's what we all wanted. I said many times, 2 pass rushers minimum this draft. And they did. They listened. 2 pass rushers, quarterback, wide receiver. I'm telling you, I mean, this was a follow the mold, perfect draft by the Falcons, and Malone was another good pick there. Again, later round, no idea if he's going to be good or not, but the expectation is he can at least play, and if he can play, Dean Pease can coach him up. All right, Tyler Allgeier, you want to say his last name, out of Memphis. I would have liked running back a little earlier. Again, running back to me is a bigger need. I know you have Cordell Patterson who can play running back and plays a lot of running back at that kind of hybrid role. But Allgeier is at least somebody who has touchdown production at Memphis at college football. Led the nation. I mean, literally, led the nation in touchdowns. He was 4th in total yards, 1,600 yards during his final year there. He can run. He's a former linebacker. He's very physical. Not as shifty as some of the other backs in this draft. I think Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller with that category, but very physical downhill runner. So I guess you go kind of shifty with Patterson, and then downhill with Kadri Allison and Allgeier here. Again, time will tell if he's actually going to be good, but there's a lot of value in these later round running backs, and you can see that they needed to get one. I'm happy that they went ahead and at least put some draft capital in this. I expect some undrafted free agent running backs as well to throw into the mix, but a good draft pick here and a productive draft pick while at Memphis. All right, how about Justin Shaffer? We get to the later round guys, the guys that are just there for depth. Shaffer, the guard out of UGA. First off, he's from UGA, so congrats to Dog fans out there for finally having a Falcon to root for. I think he can compete with Jalen Mayfield at the left guard spot. I think he has to. I mean, Mayfield should be better in year 2. Kind of an unfair situation going into year 1. Wasn't even supposed to play right guard or left guard. Wasn't supposed to play at all. He's supposed to just kind of wait and, push the right tackle, Caleb McGarry, to start. Not the case due to injuries. Obviously, kind of a bummer there for him, but he's got competition now, and Shaffer can at least, push him a little bit here in this offensive line, and that to me is good news for all Falcon fans. All right, final pick here, John Fitzpatrick, another dog, back-to-back dogs. You can see another bone thrown to the dog fans, being like, hey guys, love us because we're going to get some dog players because we never draft them. You guys told us. Love the pick here. Not necessarily anything crazy. He's a blocking tight end. Only 89 yards receiving during his career at UGA. But if you want to run the football, you need an extra tight end in there. 2 tight end looks alongside Kyle Pitts. Here's your run guy when you have your pass guy in Pitts. Not a lot more to say. He's not going to turn into Gronk. I mean, most likely. He's a late round draft pick. But still, you get a UGA player, you get some depth, and you get some run blocking abilities there. So Patrick was really good at doing that for the national championship dog teams. What do you guys think? Did the Falcons win this draft? Is this a win draft for the Atlanta Falcons? I think it was, 100%. If you agree, type Y down below for yes. If you disagree, type N down below for no. I think this was a good draft from the Atlanta Falcons. A really, really good draft from Atlanta. I would give the video a thumbs up, and I would type Y down below for yes. My overall grade's an A-. I honestly, genuinely, non-biased think this was a great draft. I think that they got the wide receiver need, the pass rusher need, the linebacker need, some depth need on the offensive line. They got a running back. I would have liked another receiver later on in the NFL draft. A couple of those trades got rid of some of your other draft picks, but overall, I can't complain. Ridder getting taken, so late, you don't have to trade up for him. this is a win. Now, time will tell. Obviously, last year's draft class I didn't think was very good. I think I gave it a B- or a C+. Yeah, it turned out to not be that great, even though it's still early. But I think they got a home run here. I think they had a very solid draft class, and I'm pumped to see what Arthur Smith now can do. It's up to him. Coach him up, right? Not a lot of expectation in Atlanta to win, a Super Bowl this year, so any extra wins you get is a huge plus. If you guys agree with me, give the video a thumbs up, but I say A- for my grade overall. Our alternate time every day on Atlanta Falcons draft video here, grading every single draft pick for the channel. Thomas Mott signing off. Do the rest of your day.